Come join Melissa and her guests on the Chats from the Blog Cabin podcast. From North Carolina, this podcast will have you feeling like you've known these folks for years. Listen in as they chat about life, culture, current events, and more, all with a special Southern flair. Curl up with your favorite beverage and get ready to be entertained. Tune in now for a unique experience that's fun and insightful.
Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of Chats from the Blog Cabin, the show where I virtually invite people into the Blog Cabin to chat about life. And if you're listening right now and it's March, it's Women's History Month. So each women's interview, I'm going to share a quote. And this quote today is I thought Stacey was perfect for us today. Doubt is a killer. You just have to know who you are and what you stand for. And it's by J-Lo. And so I thought this is perfect for us when we're discussing. So welcome my guest, Stacey, who is, oh my gosh, she will blow your mind at what she does, because I had a complimentary session with her last week and she blew my mind. So Stacey, tell us a little about yourself before we get into what you do.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for that intro. That's great. Yeah. Well, how I kind of like fell into this. This was not my plan. I did not see any of this coming 16 years ago. But one encounter with the creator and founder of this incredible technique changed my life. Prior to that, for about 6 years, I felt like I was living in a silent hell. And part of that was that I just didn't have the tools to deal with what is now called post-traumatic stress, what is now called like off the charts anxiety, like all of these things, because prior to that night, I kind of had a rock and roll lifestyle. I lived all over the world. I worked for the Olympic Games. I did Pan American Games, Commonwealth Games. I did large international events, jumping on a plane, living in all sorts of different countries was like no big deal to me. I really thrived on it, loved it. I was very successful in my career. I was very respected in my career. I was hired by very influential, fabulous, smart people to help them come up with big solutions. Well, simple solutions for big problems. That's kind of how my mind works. I take like a very complex system or problem and then bring it down to one or two steps, which is, then everybody can kind of do it. So in hindsight, looking back, I realized that all of my career until the night that hell came screaming in was my learning ground, was my like master's degree. I was in school, call it, like even in my career, of learning how to use my mind and also being in the presence of excellence, so that when this moment of meeting Daniel 6 years into my private hell after a very horrible traumatic event that I did not know how to process or move through or any of that, I knew that I was in the presence of excellence. When Daniel did this work with me, I knew that this was life-changing in the moment, because it changed my life in the moment. It saved my life in that I was in this kind of struggle to hold it together, to keep it together, to every day put that mask on, like everything is fine, letting my child know that we got this, little one, like we're good, and just kind of getting out the door without having a visible panic attack, and just really like holding it together, lip liner on, mascara on, let's go, get out the door, here we go, we got this. And at the time of all of this, I did own a gymnastics club. I was 14 hours a day. I was the boss. I was the owner. I worked very hard. It was 14-hour days, 7 days a week. Like I didn't have a lot of time to fall apart. So I did it on the outside, but I really did I was unraveling on the inside. And I didn't, like I said, I had no coping skills for this level of crap, because I didn't come from trauma. I didn't have any of those. I mean, I had been betrayed in high school and like whatever, like I had my stuff, but whatever, move on. This I couldn't move on from that particular night, and I lost a lot in that night, and it was hard to move forward and traumatically hard to move forward, but I did on the outside, like I said. But when I met Daniel, within within 5 minutes, because the technique takes a couple of minutes, as you know, we worked together. It was a couple minutes, and it changes our lives. It changes how we think. It changes our perspective on all those stories that are in that loop in our head. This technique stops all of it. It stops the chatter. It stops the crazies in our head. It stops bad behavior. It stops the nut bar stuff, which we're constantly trying to control and navigate through our own landmines in our head. And this technique stops all of that instantly. It is so cool, and it doesn't come back. So when I met Daniel, and in this moment where I tried this technique for the first time, just like you did, I was just like you, trying it for the first time, going, I don't know what I'm walking into. And I didn't care what I was walking into. I was at a spot where I was praying to God that somebody was going to show up, or something was going to show up and help me to get better, to feel better, to get my life back, to get my joy back, to get my happiness back, to get my freaking mind back, versus just trying to cope my way through a day. And I can't wait till the baby goes to bed, because I put him to bed because I'm not going to make it till 7:15. It was just like, come on, you just got to get to 7:15. Like, come on, you got this. So yeah, like I was struggling for sure to hold it together and not let the world know I was falling apart. I think that was the big deal too. So he changed my life. This technique changed my life, not only on the personal level of I no longer feel all those things. I don't feel fear. I don't feel unhappy. I don't feel embarrassed. I don't feel fear of failure. I don't feel, oh my gosh, hurt, betrayed, sad, angry, pissed off, mad, whatever. All of those horrible things I don't feel anymore, because I'm at the fixed code. And that's why when I was in this moment with Daniel, again, I didn't even know his name at the time when he was doing the work with me, because I started crying so fast that he was like, so he did the work with me. And when I opened my eyes, I was like, what just happened? Like, what did you just do? Wait a minute here. I'm going to figure out what you just did, and I'm going to teach the world how to do this. And he was like, I don't know about that. And my answer was just, oh yeah, you don't know me. What? So 16 years later, I did exactly that. And I've had the fixed code in my life for 16 years. It has helped every person that I love. It has helped my child. Like, my child does not know a life without the fixed code. Come on. Like, talk about jealousy up to here. It's like, wow, imagine you've experienced it once. Imagine having a lifetime of not knowing a life without the fixed code. I just think that is like off the charts incredible. As a mom, totally empowered. Like, I can help anybody anywhere doing this. And this has become my life. This has become something I am so passionate about, and wanting to share my story of how this technique kicked all the fear out of my life, kicked all the horrible feelings out of my life, that I can thrive and be happy and be very successful and just have my shit together. Like, I'm not worried about what anybody thinks. I'm not afraid of being judged. I'm not afraid of being attacked. I'm not afraid of people saying bad things about me. I don't care what people think about me. Like, all of those horrible feelings are horrible feelings that this technique can help with. So it doesn't matter what you're dealing with, this technique can help. So, and I love that you tried it. And I'm so honored that you tried it, so that you can kind of go along with this conversation going, she's talking the truth. Like, it really is just like that.
Yeah, it really is. It's so mind blowing. It's such a simple thing to do, but it's so mind blowing. And what I love is the fact, because on our call last week, you actually said that it was your session was gifted to you by one of the parents in your gymnastic thing, and you had no clue what you were walking into as well. And then all of a sudden it was like, so let's talk about that.
Sure, yeah. So nobody really knew what I was going through, but people that saw me on kind of a daily basis knew something was up. But of course, I truly am, I hate to think I'm a very private person, and yet I speak on podcasts all day long. But it's more about sharing now, versus when I was in it, I couldn't talk about it at all. I was just trying to hold it together. And I knew that if I ever shared anything with anybody, I was going to burst into tears and not stop crying. So I just didn't say anything. And again, very private, very like graceful, like I don't publicly lose it. So this particular night, I'm at the gym, I'm in my office, it's dark, because of course I'm in there weeping. My child is on the couch sleeping, because we lived at the gym, and not literally lived at the gym, but I was a working mom, and I was now a single working mom. My 20-year marriage ended 45 days before I met Daniel. So call it on day 42 of being separated from a 20-year marriage, letting all of this sink in. Like, I got to do this. Like, I'm doing this on my own. Like, he's not coming home. Like, this is bigger than whoa, like, it was just all very big. Already on a wobbly foundation emotionally and all of that. This was just the last kind of straw, or the last little piece of foundation I was standing on was now gone. So I'm in my office, I'm doing a little bit of blubbering privately. And one of my coach's moms, who was up, coming to pick her up, because she probably didn't even have her driver's license yet, coming to get her at the gym, said, hey, she knocked on my door, and she said, hey, Stace, I met up with a friend of mine from high school at a healing fair last week, like a convention kind of thing, like a trade show. And he's doing this kind of like woohoo thing. But she said, I tried it and it's incredible. I was telling him about you. And she goes, I hope you don't mind. I made you a session on Friday. This was like a Wednesday night. And she said, I made you a session on Friday. I hope you don't mind. I've already paid for it. Like, don't worry about all that. But I really want you guys to meet, because I think you could really help him. No idea what was going on with me. And I remember that Friday morning very clearly, because I was dropping my little one off at school. And I was driving to this session, and I remember saying to God, please let this work. Like, please let this work. And if this man is going to make me drink toad pee and it works, I'm going to invest in toad pee. I will do this. I need something to work. And I walked in, he did the fixed code with me, and it worked. And I have kept my promise. I am here to share this. I am here to teach this. I am here to support anybody that wants to learn this, do this, have fun courses, like, do fun courses, whatever it is, but to that the fixed code is there for anybody that wants it and wants help. And this is just part of who we are. This is just part of our hearts, is our certified practitioners rotate through a practitioner page, and they give complimentary sessions so that anybody at any time can click the button, go to our website, book a complimentary session with someone on that practitioner page and try this for themselves. And it could change your life. It changed mine. It's changed everybody else's that I've tried this with. You've had one session and your smile is so big and you're like, it does, it changes a lot.
It makes you a little bit more relaxed too. And you're not so stressed out.
Absolutely. And everything from doing the codes like embarrassed or like hurt or betrayed. If you are participating in the world and you feel hurt, the world is a hurtful place. So, if you are sad, the world is a sad place. You can find all of those things everywhere. If you feel betrayed, somebody's going to screw you. You're going to get, it is what we think about is what we become. And so the more we feel sad, the more we feel hurt, which is just the world. When we feel it, the world is a hard place. When we don't feel it, the world is a really, really cool, beautiful place. And we do a lot more smiling. Like, you have not stopped smiling since we came on. And a lot of it is that you don't feel that horrible feeling anymore of what you did last week, which was a big deal because it actually had a lot to do with what you're doing here, with what you're bringing to the world. With that horrible feeling there, it was there was doubt. You were stepping back versus stepping into your life. And you opened up with the phrase, with a quote of doubt will kill everything. And it does, until you meet the fixed code and you have the feeling doubt extracted through the system, through the technique. You will never doubt yourself again. Doubt is not who we are. We were not created with doubt, none of those things. These horrible feelings are not us, yet they are attached to our memories. So we think it's us because the stories keep telling us, yeah, but that happened and she did say this and I do feel that way and all of those things. It's not true. Like, this technique changes your perspective of all of that because you no longer feel it, right? Mm-hmm. So your truth when you met me was a certain way. Yep. That was your truth. And within 5 minutes, your truth totally changed. You don't feel that way at all about anything that you're doing when it comes to that feeling. You're like, I got this.
Yep.
So your confidence has gone up. How you probably speak to people, how you approach people, just in the last 5 days has probably been very different.
For sure. Now we need to take a brief commercial break, but we'll be right back.
You got it.
The threats women face today are unparalleled and even more dangerous than ever before. 1 in 3 women globally has been the victim of an assault. Women are terrified and they are looking for answers.
In the book, Street Smart Safety for Women, we draw on our experiences, both personal and professional, to provide those answers. It's by women, for women. Street Smart Safety for Women is available wherever books are sold.
And we are back with Stacey. Now, let's talk about the fixed code, because people are probably saying, okay, if it does this much, what is it actually? What's the process? Everything else? Because I think a lot of people are like saying, yeah, no,
right.
Like, it's like woo-woo stuff, like you said at the very beginning.
Yeah. And the thing is like, it's not woo-woo. I mean, it can be a spiritual experience if you want it to be, because it is quite spiritual. It also can be very scientific, which many people who, like my son, all math and science, like he is not in his feelings at all. He's a big thinker. So if you're a thinker, this will truly blow your mind. It's quite incredible because you're actually going to see the science and the beauty of the quantum mechanics of all of it. Like, the engineering behind this technique is exquisite. So what it feels like, if you want to try it, which please do, give us a try. It's only 15 minutes of your life. It might change everything. What it feels like is a guided meditation, and it takes a couple of minutes. And really, all I need you to do when you're ready, like when we do this, is to just sit back, relax, close your eyes, and follow my instructions. And the instructions move you through a beautiful experience. That's it. And then when you flow back into now, and you don't need to be able to visualize like My son can't visualize, like he doesn't do any of that. This for him is very mechanical. It's very science based, and he follows the instructions very clearly and concisely, and it works every time. People that have a spiritual experience, it's like, whoa, that was awesome. I've never been there before. I totally forgot about that event, or holy cow, that was absolutely the root cause, whatever. So each person and each time we do this is a completely different experience. I've been doing this for 16 years and I have yet to have the same experience.
That's cool.
Yeah, it is different every single time I do it, and yet the technique is exactly the same every single time. So, but yet I go to a different spot. I learn new things, I see new things, I feel new things, I hear new things, whatever it is, however you experience it. Sometimes I feel or see or hear nothing, and yet I come back to now going, that was very clinical. Okay. And yet it worked. I just didn't have that like, wow, I saw this and I did this. And, every single time is different. Every single time. And every client I've ever worked with has said the exact same thing. It's different every single time. It's a different experience, but every one of them feels very graceful and very kind and very like gentle. I mean, yeah, it's not like a gentle, like put you to sleep kind of stuff. It's like it's non-invasive. It's non-intrusive, the actual technique, but very powerful. Yeah.
So you said when your first meeting with Daniel, you felt like, oh my gosh, I need to learn how to do this for other people as well. But then you've also done it for 16 years. Is that something that's generally people that do it, they fall in love with it and they just continue with it? Or are they re-examine other portions of their life? For doing it for 16 years, are you working on the same issues or is it different issues each time? Anytime anything comes up, that's when you work through it.
Yes. So this is one of my favorite questions, because I have a goal of growing. I don't want to stay the same that I was 15, 16 years ago, like not even close. And every time I release one of these horrible feelings, I grow. I become a new person. I become lighter. I become more clear. So the distance I've traveled in, some people call it ascension, some people call it spiritual growth, some people call it maturity, whatever we want to call it. I am growing. Every time I sit down with the fixed code and do something, I am growing, which means I'm at a new level of frequency. I'm in a new place. I'm learning and observing and living a completely different life than I was 5 minutes ago, as you've experienced. Life is different since we've done that one code. So imagine having done as many as I have, and the amount of moving towards my highest timeline, my highest frequency, to be able to serve in a global way. I do not have a small mission. My mission is massive. And so I have been, call it forged, and this technique has forged me to be the best I can be, to be the most, have the most clarity, being able to speak with clarity, giving me the courage to speak out loud like this. Like, I'm quite a shy person in many ways. I'm very private. So all of this took a lot of fixed code to get me here, right?
Yep.
Like everything from the fear of saying something wrong, the fear of being exposed, the fear of being caught off guard, the fear of being a fraud, the fear of like what people think, the fear of setting something. Like I can go on forever on how many things I have had to work through to be able to do this, to continue my mission. And because I feel like my mission is big and I'm cool with that, I'm not afraid of all of that. But I have to work my way there. I have to earn my grade 1. I have to earn my grade 2. And I have to keep passing these grades, which is inner work. And it doesn't stop. I mean, it stops if I choose to stop growing, like whatever. But I don't choose to stop growing. I want to keep growing because I want to share this with more people. I want to have more confidence and more clarity, because every time I level up, every single person, every time you clear something that's horrible and low frequency and dense, right? And matrix designed, like distortion, distraction, shame, guilt, like all those things. Those for me were gone 15 years ago, 16 years ago. Now I just happen to be working on like the very, very high level frequency little statics that are keeping me from presence, from excellence, from clarity, from being able to speak in the moment of what your audience is asking of me in the moment. So I'm in a very high frequency space. I'm working with a very large platform in my field. I'm not only talking to you, I'm talking to everyone that is listening to you. So I want to keep growing. I don't ever want to stop. So yeah, there's going to be stuff that pops up because I've never been this high before. I've never been this clear before. I've never been asked to do this much before, right? So yeah, there's stuff that every once in a while, like I get a little nervous about. So I call Daniel and say, can you please get this for me? And he does. And then I move into a whole new level of life, like of freedom, of clarity. So I'll never stop growing. So I'm glad I have the fixed code because it's there for me. That is
And
one thing, it's there for you. Yeah.
and I love that fact that you said that you don't stop. If emotion comes up and you're like really like I can't work through it myself, then you got the option to call Daniel and talk to him about it. But you don't stay stuck. And I think that's what
Never.
a lot of people, they get so bogged down in the minutia of going through everyday life that they get stuck and they don't know how to get out. And if it's
Yes.
something as simple as, I'm telling you guys, something as simple as within a half an hour, we were on a call for the half an hour. Within that half an hour, when I got off, things that were overwhelming to me weren't overwhelming anymore. I'm like, and I'm still like, cool. I'm more organized now than I was before because I'm like, okay, I got process now. I got to do this, but now I know, okay, if it doesn't get done, it'll get done tomorrow. It's not a big deal.
Yeah. So life got easier. But in 5 minutes, like in the time that we were together half an hour. We did the work, took 5 minutes, and your life got easier.
Yep.
So I'm grateful that you took me up on the offer to do the work with you because your life has changed, which is my goal, which is why we invite anybody and everybody to try this. Complimentary. Because if you do see and feel the impact of, as you have, how quickly this can change your life, learn how to do it. I mean, there's 3 options. Learn how to do it so that it's yours forever. You've got this. Okay. Like that's me. I was like, I'm learning this because I want this for me forever. I can help somebody in the moment like that. I can help my child like that. Like, oh my gosh, there's no talking. And like my son felt hurt. It 5 minutes. And now I have a child who no longer feels hurt or bullied or angry or upset or neglected or whatever was going on in the moment. And so he doesn't know what it all feels like because, and there's no learnings, by the way, sitting in neglect or sitting in hurt. Like you're not going to learn anything. It just sucks. So I don't look at these things as there's learnings involved and you have to learn from being hurt or learn from what there isn't. Because what happens is that in this technique, we do take the learnings. We do get smarter. We do get the clarity. So you can learn how to do this. You can become a client, which I highly recommend. Or you can take these really fun courses that we've created ignite your passion to purpose, break out of the maze, which was beyond amazing, the bridge to your authentic self, get your pink back. Like there's all sorts of really fun courses that are designed to take the course, but then like hire a practitioner to go through it with you so that every time you hit a code, right, like a horrible feeling, which I trigger the whole time, by the way, like I'm saying, go get this one done, go get this one done. Like you can't move forward because you're feeling stuck. Get rid of this one, get rid of this one. You will be amazed at how fast you move through feeling stuck, feeling horrible, feeling embarrassed, feeling hurt, feeling abandoned. All of it is there in these courses. And it's fun because you got somebody right there supporting you the whole way through, right? And it's a fun learning. So I've been told the courses are fun.
And I would say probably the hardest part of these actual sessions is actually the client verbalizing what they're feeling, because they have to get in touch with their feelings. They have to, okay, mine was overwhelmed and I was really overwhelmed with everything that I had to do. And you were like, okay, no, we're going to work through it. We're going to work through it. Yeah. But for me to actually put a word to what I was feeling, that was probably the hardest part of the whole entire thing.
Right. And that's part of the practitioner's job. Like that's what they're trained to do. But what I will do is I will ask your listeners the magic question. So Daniel designed this question for me because I was the first student. I was the first person to learn how to do this besides him. I mean, he created it. So he didn't learn it. He remembered it. So trying to get out of him what he's doing, it took me a couple of years because I was like a 2-year-old going, why did you do that? Why did you do that? Why did you say this? How are we supposed to help people when you just know it intuitively? I don't know how to do that intuitively. I do now, but at the beginning, I'm like, you need to come up with a sentence or something that's going to help me get the answer that you get intuitively from the client. So he was like, oh my gosh. And I said, I'll just make it like a magic question. And hilarious. We still to this day call it the magic question. Everybody knows it as the magic question because it is. And here I will ask you and your listeners, biggest problem you have in your life right now, when you think about it, how does it make you feel? If you could put it in one or two words, what would it be? And whatever that word is that floats up, it's going to float up almost like right here. And there's going to be a word there, or one or two words. And whatever that is what your practitioner is going to do the work on. Takes a couple minutes. And when you come back to now and float back into your body, you won't be able to feel that feeling anymore, or fear, whichever it is. So it doesn't matter if the client or you can't identify it before the magic question, but when you hear the magic question, it all starts to come to the top. And then your practitioner can help you like really get it down. But 95% of the time, the client goes, bam, they'll just say it. They'll just like, you and your listeners, I'm sure everybody's got a word going and they're yelling at me right now going, it's mad, or I'm sad, or yeah, I am so pissed off. And it's like, yeah, that. So if you're doing all that right now, go to the website at thefixco.com, click the button and move through the questionnaire, which is just the magic question. That's all it is. It's not, we're not asking for anything crazy. It's just a click of the button of like A, B, C, D. Okay. It's not invasive. Keep submitting. If there's a button, submit, submit, submit. When you get to the very last page, I think it's in baby pink, it's going to say book here. Click the button, move over to the practitioner page, and you're allowed to actually do it twice, because you can try one or two. You might fall in love with the first person, but you can try it twice to get to know people, to get to like, and pick somebody that resonates with you. Like you might, there's no bios or anything, but you can tell by, looking at somebody going, I like that person. So click that button, book a session with them, and try this. It's complimentary. So you got nothing to lose.
What I love about that, because you just said it, you can pick kind of who you want, because when you go into a doctor, you do research on your doctor, you do research if you're taking your kid to the pediatrician, you do research about if you're going to go buy a car and everything else. So why not do research on how to fix your own brain and your own mental thinking?
Absolutely. Yeah. And these women are amazing. Like their hearts are so big. They're volunteering their time, right? This is all complimentary. So they are just those kinds of people. They're very nurturing. They're very supporting. They're very, very kind. And I love every single one of them. I've spent lots of time with them, training them, teaching them, nurturing them in their own healing, and then becoming friends with them. They are truly amazing women who are gifting back, paying it forward to anybody that wants to try this. And again, if you really love them, buy one of their packages. Do this. Get through that feeling stuck. And it's interesting because you feel people that feel stuck feels like there's no way getting through this. Right? Like I'm trying to figure out how to get around it, over it, under it. With the Fix Code, if you feel stuck, we will do an extraction called Stuck. And when you come back to now in 5 minutes, guess what? You can't feel stuck. It's just simple. We very much keep this simple and literal. People tell us all day long how they feel.
So let's talk about what people would consider negative chatter, because there's a lot of people that have negative chatter in their head all the time, and they think it's just everybody thinks like this, but it's not necessarily so.
Yeah, so the negative chatter is actually what we call a parasitic program that is triggered. It's like it's an outside source or a thought starts something, right? Like I see the red sweater, or the phone is ringing, or let's pretend it's debt. Okay, let's pretend that like the topic we're looking at is debt. The moment you think of your email or checking your email and you know there's like 3 bills in there that you can't pay, guess what? You're not going to your email. You don't want, there's fear about checking your email. If the phone is ringing and you see the bank, you kind of have this panic attack because you know now you're in trouble. Now all of a sudden it's the credit union. You know what I mean? It's a horrible feeling. Debt is a horrible feeling. Now, all of the chatter, it's there. I can't afford this. How am I going to do this? I got to get gas. How am I going to pay for dinner tonight? I need some groceries. You're going through all sorts of crap, and you do it all day long. You're trying to figure out how to pay for things, and then you feel like you're in trouble. There's a whole landslide. I call it like the mudslide. Like it starts and then you just end up at the bottom, and there's no tread, right? Like on a mudslide, you cannot get yourself back up there. It is like, oh my gosh, you need it to stop. That's the loop. And what happens is that you wake up in the morning, you check your email, you see that one thing from whatever the phone company, and you're like, oh crap, and it starts. And now this whole thing, this debt has got you good. It's got you gripped, right? It's your nervous system is taxed. It's like, it's using up all of your energy. And so you're starting to feel drained. By 9:30 in the morning, you're like, I got to go back to bed. This is crazy. You feel drained. You are using all of your power to try to shut this thing down, cope with things, deal with things. It's not working because this thing woke up. Now what happens is that it moves up and it brings all your memories of debt with it. And now it's in what we call the grand illusion, your mind. And then the crazy starts. And it's loop, 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 loop. And you go from when you couldn't pay it when you were 10 years old, you wanted that bicycle and you just couldn't pay it, or you wanted to buy the lemonade on the corner and you didn't have the 10 cents. And it just, all the stories of all of the moments where you couldn't pay it and now you're getting in trouble or whatever it is, okay, are all in your mind. And you spend the whole day like that. And by 3 o'clock, you're a freaking mess and you're doing everything. And now your children are coming in, they're like, Mom, we need $30 for a PD day or a trip, and you're just falling apart. You're like, I can't even get my kids to go on an amazing trip to the museum or whatever. Like, how now I need $30. You got to be kidding me. And it just keeps going, and you just keep getting your teeth kicked in. Like, it just doesn't matter, right? Now you come to the fixed code, and in 5 minutes, when you're thinking about debt, and I say to you, when you think about that, how does it make you feel? And you're like, I don't know, feel like a bad mom. I don't know, whatever it is, whatever you say, we do the feeling and it's gone. And guess what? You no longer feel all of that. And for whatever reason, the feeling like a bad mom and all the debt disappears because it was all linked to feeling like a bad mom. And wherever the root cause is, your unconscious mind knows where it is, not me. I have no idea where it is. So it's just this, it's healing in the moment of whatever's going on that's kicking the crap out of you. And when it comes up into the unconscious mind or with the thinking brain, because they're totally different, right? The unconscious mind, I feel it's over here, and the thinking brain is right here. Once it's in your thinking brain, you can't make it stop, and it talks to you. It tells you to do things. It creates habits. It creates strategies. It gets you in trouble. It makes you not talk to people. It makes you not answer your phone anymore. It's like now all of a sudden your kids are sick on the PD day because you didn't have $30. Now you're lying. Like, it just causes all of this mess. In 5 minutes, we find through the magic question, because again, I don't know what you're thinking about. You're thinking about debt. I don't know what you're thinking about. But when you think about whatever you're thinking about, how does it make you feel? And whatever your answer is, we get rid of it so that you never, ever, ever feel like that again, ever. And that's like the coolest shit ever to me. Like, it's just cool. Yeah.
Yep, it is. Our time is almost up. So is there one last thing that you either want to reiterate about what we talked about or something that we haven't talked about that you want to share before we talk about where people can find you at? The floor is yours right now.
Okay. Please don't feel like any of this is your fault. It's not. These things, we were not created with these things. We were not meant to have these horrible feelings, not at all. And so if you're feeling any bad stuff or crazies or down or anxious or whatever it is, please just reach out. Like, there are so many of us who are here to help you. You are not alone in the world. We're right here.
Oh, now you're going to make me cry.
Sorry.
I didn't expect that.
You asked me. Yeah, I'm very passionate about helping people because I've been there. I've been where life totally sucks and I couldn't figure out how I was going to pay for dinner with a child. It's like, holy crap. I'm screwed. And then I met Daniel and everything changed. And if I can help one person, then I've done my job.
I love that. So where can people find you personally before we talk about the fixed code?
Well, I'm on the website. My email is there. So if anybody wants to email me, you can. But yeah, the best way to start your journey of feeling better and kicking butt and owning your life and all of that stuff is to try this. Go to thefixedcode.com and click the button and click the button and book session. And just go through the little questionnaire, click the pink book here and pick somebody, and pick 2 people and enjoy and feel better. And if you want to get more help, book sessions with them. If you want me, then by all means, email me and we'll set something up. Yeah.
Because I will say, guys, it blew my mind. And I'm just going to say my thing was overwhelmed. And I could picture the little girl holding a kite with all the little things that was all the problems on. And I just let that kite go. And the kite went off in the wind. And it felt like I was just so much lighter because of it. And that's what she did within 5 minutes of talking. I'm like, how does this work? And you even said it blew your mind, didn't it? And I'm like, absolutely, it blew my mind.
I know it does, because up until now, nothing we've ever done has worked. Not really. You know what I mean? This works, which is why I picked it, which is why I was so aware that I was in the presence of excellence, because it worked. And it was like, holy crap, I was shocked in that, like, it worked as you were. It's like, oh my gosh, it's gone. Like, how did you do that? I'm going to figure out what you did and I'm going to teach the world how to do this, which was literally my response. Like, oh my gosh. And I kept my word. It's exactly what I did. I figured what he did. If I can learn this, anybody can learn this. This was not my jam. This was not my world. Didn't see this coming. And I have been on a pretty cool journey. hard journey. Like this has not been easy because I've had to learn a whole whack of skills that I never planned on learning and have had to do a lot of things that I was uncomfortable doing. And I'm a back of the house girl. I want to be in my jeans and a t-shirt. You know, I'm like a roadie. I want to be in the back. And everything about this has got me out front going, you know, it's like, ah. So I've had to do my own learning and I've had my own butt kicked, but I can keep using I use the fix code to get me to the next level and to get me clear and to get me confident and keep moving forward to be able to share this with more and more and more people, to be able to help more people. That's like the whole goal is to help as many people as we can. And I would love to be a part of eradicating depression and anxiety in 1 decade. That's it. I want this shit gone. We are not meant to feel any of that. So feel free to join me in eradicating that. And just the more sessions you have, the freer and better you will feel. That's just how it works.
Yeah. So Stacey, thank you for coming on and for
Thank
sharing
you.
the fixed code, for giving me that complimentary session. So I knew exactly what we were going to be talking about today, because I was like, okay, all right. I didn't know what I was going into because I wanted to go with an open mind. I didn't research anything. I just said, okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do a complimentary session, see what this is all about. But blew my mind.
And if you ever feel anything, please just go back into the podcast link and book a session with me. I am here as my thank you to all the podcasters that are opening their worlds up to me and giving me the platform, is that you at any time can click that button and get access to me complimentary, because I don't ever want you ever feeling not fabulous, because it's the fixed code. It's too much fun to keep to myself.
And you can tell by the joy she has in doing this for other people. And so I thank you so much, Stacey, for coming on. Guys, I'll put in the show notes everywhere you can find Stacey. I have her LinkedIn, her Instagram, everything else, and the fixed code. Definitely go in. It's a complimentary session. Like she said, you can book 2. So I just think that you should at least try it. The only thing you're giving up is your time at the moment.
Exactly. 15 minutes. And you can walk away forever. Or you can be like, damn, this is good.
or even if it's like, okay, it doesn't work for me. You at least tried it to see if it might work. And that's the thing.
Right.
We have to try things. We have to be willing to learn about new things and try new things, because that's how we get out of our rut.
That's right. Thank you so much.
All right, guys. Until next time. Bye.
Bye.